So a solid chunk of designers I know will polish up a client's website, get their site launched, and then offer to stick around for a monthly fee to handle any updates or maintenance that the client might need on their website in the future. These are called monthly retainers, and they have their pros and cons. Pro, at least from your client's perspective, your client has the peace of mind that if their website decides to throw a temper tantrum one day and bring their entire online business crashing down, then they have got someone on hand whose job it is to fix it. Con, developers and designers don't come cheap, so paying a few $100s a month for a retainer with a web designer or developer can become a really pricey business expense for your client. And now let's look at it from the designer's perspective. Pro, who doesn't love the thought of extra recurring revenue? Con, you are basically pledging to make yourself available to that client, and you never really know when that client is going to want to cash in, which means that if you have multiple retainer clients at the same time, there is a chance that they might all contact you on the exact same day and all need something super important at the same time. Yes, you can set boundaries for how and when your clients are able to use their retainer hours, but it will still take a great deal more planning if you want to take time off from your business. Now, I personally didn't relish the thought of clients emailing me in a panic while I'm trying to get my vacation on, so back when I was still just serving clients one-to-one, if a potential client asked, "Are you available to help me down the line when my website is all finished?" my answer was usually, heck yes, just not in the form of a retainer. So what did I offer instead? I'll be sharing that in just a minute. But first, I want to make sure that you saw the free training, which I recently recorded on finding clients as a new web designer. Finding legit paying clients seems to be the #1 question landing in my inbox these days. So I wanted to share with you exactly what I've been sharing with all of these designers who turn up in my emails and my DMs, feeling burnt out and super disheartened about their client finding search problems. I want you to know that it doesn't have to be so hard. You just need to know which mistakes to avoid so that you aren't spending so much time and energy on the things that are never going to move the needle in your business. So if you're currently struggling to land clients consistently in your business or book out months in advance, then I want to challenge you to skip the 1-hour episode of whatever you plan to watch on Netflix tonight and instead watch the 60-minute free training. I promise your business is going to thank you. You can grab access to the training right here, or I'll also put the link for you in the description below. So you've probably picked up on the fact that I am a die-hard, hands-down Squarespace lover. 50 Shades of Grey has nothing on this love match, let me tell you. So while it's true that I didn't want to be disturbed while sipping frozen margaritas on the beach, I actually had another much more altruistic reason for saying no to retainers for my clients when asked about them. Because my clients would basically be paying me for sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing. One of the many reasons why I chose Squarespace back in the day and still love it to this day is that it's an all-in-one system contained and controlled by Squarespace. The Squarespace has teams in New York City, Portland, and Dublin to deal with all of the back-end tech mumbo-jumbo, so Squarespace users never need to deal with website meltdowns. I'll give you a prime example. As we know, technology moves quickly. Years ago, Google decided it wanted the interwebs to switch over to being secure and secure websites. That's from HTTP to HTTPS. As you know, Google basically controls the internet, so every website owner jumped to get on the secure website bandwagon. That's when many website owners got stuck with a whole bunch of questions. If I change my website from HTTP to HTTPS, what happens to all my old links? Do I need to domain map them to the new HTTPS links? Will changing the links affect my SEO? How the heck do I actually change all of these things? The Squarespace team prepared for that change and ensured that their HTTPS rollout was ready to go and working properly. Us Squarespace users then got one email instructing us to click Enable HTTPS buttons on our websites, and we were smooth sailing. This was not the case for my poor WordPress friends, some of whom were still wandering around in circles months later and even years later trying to figure out exactly how to make this switch. This is just one of these small examples for exactly how a Squarespace website just works. So basically, I opted to not offer monthly retainer packages because the Squarespace team does for customers what most website designers or developers do for their clients on a monthly retainer package. Except now your client pays as little as $15 or $25 or $35 a month for their Squarespace plan, depending on which plan they've chosen, whereas monthly retainers with a designer or developer tend to run into the hundreds of dollars a month area, and that's plus also paying to host your website. So the long and short of it is your clients really don't need a web designer or developer on a monthly retainer if their website is built on Squarespace. Now, I can already hear you asking, but what about website edits and changing site content? And yes, that's a good question. Most of the time, my clients were able to complete the edits and the updates on their website themselves. Did I have a bunch of website wizard clients, you ask? No. In fact, one past client diagnosed herself with a strong case of technophobia, fear or dislike of advanced technology, that is. I completed every single project with a 1.5-hour website lesson. On the final Friday of our 2-week design period, my client and I would hop on a Zoom call and we'd dive into the back end of their website. I didn't want to just send them a pre-recorded lesson or send them a link to some generic resource library where examples were showing using other people's websites. I wanted them to be able to see and learn using their own newly designed website. While I did have a lesson plan, each lesson was tailored to the client, or more accurately, to the level of tech savviness of that client and to the type of content that was featured on their website. I would show them the ins and outs of their website and get as advanced or as basic as they wanted me to. Clients were confident by the end of the lesson to find the way around the back end of their website, make edits to text or photos or banners or background colors, and also the search engine descriptions. They would also fully be able to create pages and move content blocks around and edit links and page descriptions on their own. They'd also, by the end of it, know the best practices for blogging and how to use a summary block to pull out specific bits of content from their blog onto certain pages. Pretty much, they'd know their stuff and they'd be ready to independently make website edits and updates on their own schedule. Yes, even the ones who started off as self-proclaimed technophobes. Now, the average number of client emails I got with questions after a project was completed? 2 per year for the first year and exactly 0 after that. So why was giving this lesson so important to me? I am solidly in the camp of teaching a woman how to fish. Going to someone else for help always takes more time and makes something as simple as updating the prices on your website become a super big pain in the butt task. Now, I never wanted to hold my clients' websites hostage or have them waiting on me to get back from vacation so I could swap out a simple banner image. Your client site is a vital piece of their business, and I believe they should be in full control of it and have full knowledge on how to work the thing. Now, what if my clients have something more complex that they need help with on their website, you might be asking? Well, sometimes your client will have a need for something they just don't have the time or desire to learn. Maybe down the road, they decide to add an online shop or a special booking and appointment scheduling feature to their website. For these types of tasks that were a little bit outside the scope of an 1.5-hour lesson, I invited clients to shoot me an email and I would price out the task for them and let them know when the next opening was in my books to work on that thing. For full web design projects, I tended to book out well in advance, but for these smaller tasks, I could generally get them in within like a week or 2. There you have it. That is why I decided to never offer monthly retainer packages in my web designer business. Instead, I taught my clients how to use their website and offered assistance at an hourly or project-based rate if they needed help with more complex things down the road after the project was finished. So I hope this video has given you something to mull over and consider so that you can be super intentional about designing a business model that serves both you and your clients well. Now, for more tips on building a web design business that you love, be sure to hit subscribe and tap the bell button so you'll be notified when new content drops on the channel every single week. And don't forget to grab access to that free training on finding clients as a new designer that I have linked for you in the description below. And I'll see you back here again next week. If you need more web design business inspiration in the meantime, be sure to check out these videos too.